leads to the 14th chapter, which is Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. And so remember, this is the portion where it's describing the system, or how do you handle after you leave this hospital in the first analogy. And so it's like, watch out for this, because the question might be, why does this happen then? Why do I get drawn? Why do I get pulled? Why do I get angry? Why do I get upset? Where does greed come from? Why do I get jealous? And who makes me anxious if I am all good and all this and secure and all that? And it said, well, there are three psychological forces of nature. And these are not the physical forces of nature. It's not talking about the gravity and the light and this, that. These are the psychological forces of it, jisko gun kehte hain. Now, we have all heard of it, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, sattva, rajo, tama. And generally categorized as the good, or the quiet, good, shanta, and the opposite of that, and then everything that's in between. It's all the glory of the number 3, right? Mm-hmm. Everything goes in, trouble also comes in 3, and all of that. So here too, 3 guna juka hai. So guna, traya is 3, again vibhag, categorized so we can process them, we can handle them. If the whole thing was thrown at you at once, it would be hard to figure, hard to realize. It's easier to fight one man than 3 at once, right? One at a time, or anything. If there's 3 things in your plate, you can't eat all 3 of them at once. You'll eat one at a time, for example. So guna traya vibhag yog. Now watch this. Kshetra kshetragya vibhag yog. Guna traya vibhag yog. From here we'll go to 15th will be Purushottam Yog. And in all 18th chapter the names end with yog. And that's a reminder that there's a reason, there's a purpose. Why we even bother to study the Gita? What's all this? What are we even trying to do? What's the purpose behind any of this? It's yoga. Yogam yunjan madashraya. Previously he had described that it is reconnecting with our real identity. That it is disidentifying with who we think we are right now. I am a human, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and I'm a father and a son and this, that. Disconnecting with those temporary, illusory, momentary, make-believe, very limited, very narrowly described identities, and plug it back into and re-identify with the full, glorious, my original identity. That yes, I am all that too, but the real me is so much more than that, connected to the whole and the complete. And so that reconnection is yoga. So hence, the name of each chapter is pointing us towards that right off the bat. Hey, this is why we're doing this. And even those end, each of the chapter ends with it also. Om Tat Satati Srimad Bhagwad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastra. This is the science of yoga. It says Yoga Shastra. This is not, trust me, believe me, I'm telling you, just do it. It's not. It's the opposite. The Lord says in the 7th chapter, Artha Arthartha Jigyasa. You got to be curious. You have to inquire into it. Athato Brahma Jigyasa Meva. You must inquire, you must question, you must ask. You must test it for yourself. You have to experience for yourself. Just because my guru said, therefore that is, उससे नहीं होता ना काम. कहाँ होता है? उतने समय के लिए हो जाता है. फिर से बैटरी डिस्चार्ज हो जाती है ना. Yeah, we have to go back again. And so they say, no, you can experience this. Absolutely. And that's that reminder that it's a science. And again, I say that science is that which can be proven. Not just proven, but it's repeatedly proven. Again and again, Sanjeev Bhai, would you get the same result. That would have to be science. Not just that, but no matter who does it, if I repeat, I get that same result. But if you do it also, no matter who does it, when they do it, how they do it, if it's that, then only it is science. And this is called Yoga Shastra. And therefore, any Guru, any Mahatma, any Santalok scripture, they've just ultimately concluded to that yeah, this is right, this makes sense.
Just want
yes.
comment on when you say yoga,
yes.
One and the same thing.
Yes.
But 2 meanings.
Yeah, 2 flavors, 2 sides of that. That's in it. Yes, absolutely, yes. And so indeed it is Atma Sakshatkar kehte hain, Paramatma Sakshatkar, like self-realization or God realization, right? We've heard of both. And this is a self-realized saint. He is Sakshatkari Mahapurush, or he Bhagvat Purush hai. And so in the sense of like So the spectrum of how far you're continuing to experience that. Have you stopped at experiencing that I am in all and all in me? Atma Sakshatkar would say. And this is the truth, that as an Atma, just like you all have heard, some of you have heard the example that if a wave in an ocean realizes that, well, I'm really not a wave, this is just a form. A wave flowing is just a form, and it's been given a name called a wave. Lehar keh diya isko aur beh rahi hai. वैसे वास्तविक में in reality I'm water. Yeah. And so in the form of water, I am in all the waves, every single wave. And every single wave is in me as the water. That's right. Or the dream character realizing, suppose, in the dream that, wait, it's the same power that's powering me, is powering the good character and the bad character and all of those. And therefore, in that sense, I am actually that and in everyone. And that would be Atma Sakshatkar or yoga with connecting with yourself, your real identity. And then beyond that, that water realizing, well, wait a minute, but there's this whole big mighty ocean. And it isn't just the waves. Waves is just the skin of the ocean. There is so much more water in the ocean, that infinitely more than the water in the waves themselves. The dream character realizing, oh my God, the dreamer, actually the one who is dreaming, he's got so much more than just what's in the dream. And so that's like the mega connecting with that also. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the same. It's the continuing of the spectrum. It's a scalable experience for sure. And in the Bhakti Shastra, in fact, it's suggested that it's endless, not only scalable, but it is like asymptotic curve, that it actually never reaches the full final end. And they want that. The devotees don't want the experience of bhakti or love to stop at one point saying, okay, this was the greatest experience of love. Nothing more can be experienced. Then that's not acceptable to the real lovers. They want to continue to love the Lord and continue to experience more and more and more and more and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And so it's in how we process it, how we want it. There's some agency left to the devotee, to the seeker. Like, okay, how far do you want to go? There is autonomy, there is a agency also. And so in that sense, there is an equity built in in it as well, right? Like I said, these concepts were there thousands of years ago. The diversity, this morning's Gita reflection, I was sharing that diversity is, the beauty of creation. Creation would suck if there was no diversity. It would be the most boring. And so diversity, equity, inclusion, so much inclusion that there is only one. इससे ज़्यादा include नहीं कर सकते. That there is only one, Advaita Vedanta. How can you include anyone more than saying these are the same, one and the same? So the whole DEI, dear, has always been there. So the 14th chapter then gets into the three guna, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. I will not bore you again with the descriptions of, you all remember, sattva is generally likened to the good, the quiet, the peaceful, the collaborative, the inclusive, the one who wants generally content, happy, sharing, all of those. So generally speaking, if you're drawing like, this whatever we get, achhe log hai, good people, good qualities. Obviously, it's a lot more than that in the chapter itself, in the 14th chapter. But generally speaking, that. And tamas is heartless, wasteful, begging, borrowing, stealing, very lazy, and therefore very violent, very discontented, because they just want to exert no effort and want to have everything. And so the effortlessly wanting to have everything, that's really the goal of self-realization. to be truthful, that I want to exert zero effort and I want to feel the greatest joy. Ultimately, that's the promise of self-realization, that आत्यंतिक दुख निवृत्ति, ऐसे उसका वर्णन किया है, और आत्यंतिक सुख प्राप्ति. इस मार्ग पे चलने से क्या मिलेगा? देयर विल बी नो दुख टू बी फाउंड. ढूंढ के जीवन में दुख नहीं मिलेगा कितना भी. And then the 6th chapter, one of our favorite shloks, yam labdva cha param labham manyate na adhikam tata. Forgive me, I have to straighten my ankle. That there will be so much joy that you will not find greater joy than that. But tamas actually does not want to even think about it or do anything toward that, just the way I am. And therefore, they have to steal because I don't want to work hard. Or just pick up their weapon and just like cut the throat and all of that. And so there are reasons for that. And then those that are in between. One example that I'd given when we talked through this is like that if this was an enclosed space, there is this the floor, there's this ceiling, and there are the walls. If this was glass, if this was all covered from glass, and you could be outside, you could be above, and you could see what's happening inside. And if I started a fan at the ground floor, that would blow the air upward. And then I also started a ceiling fan right above it, which would blow the air down. And then I put a Usha or Singer table fan. It's not going up or down, it's just blowing air meaninglessly, idhar se idhar, udhar se idhar. And then, so now ye dhamadham chalu ho gaya tino hawa. And then I take a feather or my hair or a piece of paper and then just I put in it bahar se. Like mercy on that piece. Kidhar se kidhar jayega wo. Kabhi bahar, kabhi upar, kabhi niche, kabhi if it gets caught in the air that's blowing up, it'll try to go up. And then suddenly gets caught by the force of the wind that's blowing from above, it'll get pushed down, and then suddenly gets snatched by the sideways blowing wind. ऐसे ये तीन गुण है. Sattvic is uplifting, lifting ourselves up. जैसे ध्यान के समय, today's ध्यान, we were just reminding ourselves of our sattvikta. They're lifting ourselves up through our own meditation, affirmatively. And so sattvic will lift us up and everyone along with us. And then tamasic will push us down and everyone with us down. Like, if I'm going down, if I can't be in the White House any longer, nobody will have the White House. Dang it. Or however, or whatever, right? Like, no political commentary, just an example. So, and I will bring others down with me, including my running mate and everyone. So, hang them. That's tamasic vyavahar. And then rajasic is like neither here nor there, na ghar ka na ghat ka, jaise neither here nor there. Just rajasikta ke pramukh lakshan kya bataye de? More and different. Anywhere you spot the mindset saying, I want more, or I want different, then you know that there is right now this jivatma, the pure soul, has been caught into this table fan. इधर से उधर से इधर जाएगा उधर जाएगा उधर जाएगा इधर अलग. And when you see someone like really acting meaninglessly, wastefully, thoughtlessly, irrational, irrelevant, this is really bad. Why are you doing this? This doesn't make sense. So understand that jivatma, sometimes our kids, teenagers in particular, it's just pure soul, just caught into tamasic gun unke around jo hai wo. And so they're just behaving erratically. And then others, when you say, like, how can you be so quiet, so good? Like, how can you be so good to me? Or this, that. Well, they're just in that, under in that fan. And so, in truth, none of us ever born are good, bad, or in between. We're just pure. In purity, you cannot put this is good pure, this is bad pure, or this is mixed pure. Pure is pure. Shuddha sattva hai. Jivatma is born out of Shuddha sattva. Not sattva. Sattva is conditional sattva. Pure source of it. Like the original one. And that's each of us here and those we hate also and love as well. Those we call our own and someone else's also. Each of us. If it is alive, machhar bhi, kida bhi, if it is alive, then it is pure, born in purity. The original content of it. The original substance in it. The composition, the makeup of it is pure. Purity, pure goodness, शुद्ध सत्व है. ये भूलें कम से कम अपने बारे में भूलें नहीं. When we do self-disparaging thoughts, when we have, or when we just kick ourselves, when we have deep regret and remorse and feel guilty and I was so bad, I did this, that, maybe I got caught ignorantly, I got caught unbeknownst to me. I didn't pay attention. I wasn't aware of all these forces of nature and all that. I never knew who I was. I thought I was who they told me I was. That I'm a girl and this is my name and I'm pretty or I'm ugly or whatever. Right? And I believed it and that's what I thought. Now I'm starting to realize that I'm actually none of those. That's just my body. That's just the car that I drove and left in the driveway. And I came inside. That's not me. है ना? So ये विचार करके अभी देखते देखते you can start taking off. You can figure out the stream from these three, which one is lifting me up. And you can align with it. You can be on that side by choice. We have a choice. Will or no will. The paper that I was going to discuss with you. Separate conversation. We talk on the phone. Divine to your theory. Singular. So this is our Sanjeeva and my secret. Like, so don't let anyone tell us. Don't let our mind tell us that there's nothing I can do. Of course, you're the boss of the mind. Third chapter ends with it. Karma Yoga ends with this last shlok that, dude, you're the king, man. Like you got full control on your mind. Your mind is nothing. Your intellect is far superior to your mind. Just think. He's saying, just think and you'll realize. And by the way, you are superior to even your intellect. You can harness the power of the mind and the intellect and fully control and drive them in the direction you want to go, not be drawn by wherever it wants to go, right? So that's sort of where the 14th chapter summarizes a couple of really brilliant गुणत्रय विभाग योग में जो मैंने कई बार कहे हैं. Again, I get into those. Maybe this will be the end of this reflection, so I'm really working hard to not get into Guna Naitan Atitretin Dehi Deha Samudbhavan Janma Mrityu Jura Dukhe Vimukto Amritamushnate. It says that the one who is able to see through this knowledge, through meditation on it, through practice and through some faith, the one who develops the vision, the ability to see that, wait a minute, that's not actually a bad person. I don't know why I did this. I don't know why I insulted them. I don't understand why I stole it. I don't know why I did this, that, whatever, whoever is doing it. I'm normally not like that. I know better. There's something, I got caught into some winds somewhere. One who is able to start seeing it and sees that, no, these are the gunas playing in it. And unbeknownst to me, I got caught into it. I could have saved myself. I could have managed my energy, but I didn't even think of it. I just went with it. The one who is able to see that, perceive that, is able to gain control and then can clearly see that these are gunas playing. There's nothing wicked. There's nobody mean, and there's no saint, and this is gunas playing. One at any given time, one overpowers the two. Then the second one takes turn, and then that overpowers the other. ये सब गीता में, ये 14वें अध्याय में है. ये मेरी बातें नहीं है. ये उन श्लोकों में आता है. So, and that's where the chapter 14 ends with saying, if this becomes difficult, this feels difficult for you to understand. Okay, well, I don't know what this means. I don't know how to experience this. I don't know what to do with it. Then I'll let you in on a secret. Again, right in it, while describing, he says, well, if you're my devotee, through the path of devotion, you will still come to it. Through devotional path will lead you to that release, that liberation as well. The last two verses in the 14th chapter are very empowering, as I call them, because they give so much hope. They're very hope-giving, very encouraging, very empowering, and it feels like giving a crutch or a wheelchair to someone who cannot walk. It's like, okay, well, take this, start walking, and you'll start making progress. Because, he says, in the very last verse of this chapter, of the 14th chapter, anyway, I am the foundation of it all. Ye Brahma, Atma, Jeev, Prakriti, ye sab jo hai, it's all rests on me, Arjun, regardless. Ultimately, it's all in me, sourced in me, and I am watching it out. I'm empowering it, all of it. And so if you choose to come directly to me, skipping all these methods and means, then anyway, you'll have the same benefit, because you'll be in me. Yeah, so I have always found that to be very empowering. I've benefited from it also, and that has been my path, the path of love, not necessarily of knowledge or karma or yoga or this, that, not even a bhakti, the path of love. But these all lead to the path of love. And during the dhyan, I want to bring this up because we're getting to the 15th chapter. During today's